Hey everybody, this is Steve Moore, owner of Run More, this beautiful brick and mortar running shop located in downtown Westminster, Maryland. Thank you so much for checking out our channel. If you like the content we're putting out there, please give us a like and subscribe. It certainly helps us find new people. And if you're looking for some new shoes, check out the link below and head on over to our online store. If you enter promo code RUNMORE, just one word, on any new shoes that are out there, we'll ship it out for free and you'll save 10% on your order. So let's dive into it. It's been a few minutes since we've done a review. It's been a really wild fall out there. We sort of thought that now that we're sort of on the tail end of COVID, hopefully, that we would see a lot of these little issues go away. But that whole supply chain thing that everybody talks about, it's hit our industry pretty hard. And a lot of the shoes that we expected this fall have been pushed back until later this year or until next year. So this shoe that we're reviewing today actually was due in the shop in August of 2021. We're recording this in early November and we just got it. Not only that, some of the colors that we were expecting are now delayed until April of next year. So it's really hard trying to figure out what stuff's coming and going. But we had been excited about this shoe for a while. This is a renamed shoe from New Balance. This is now the New Balance Fresh Foam X 860 version 12. It's a mouthful. This was our last version. This was the New Balance Fresh Foam 860 version 11, and that had already been renamed from version 10. So this is like our third renaming in 2 years. Good times. So this is New Balance's Stability Run Specialty shoe. Being a New Balance dealer, it's great because the name has a lot of recognition. People know New Balance very well. The side trade-off to that is like people will come in and they'll say, boy, this shoe is very expensive. I can find New Balance shoes at BJ's or at Costco's or Kohl's, and they're not nearly this expensive. This is a shoe that you're only going to find in Run Specialty. This is their premier running stability shoe. This is, of all of the New Balance shoes that we carry, this is the one that people most come in looking for because it's a shoe that have been prescribed from podiatrists and foot doctors and all that kind of stuff. When people come in and say, I'm looking for a really good sturdy arch from New Balance, typically this is the shoe that they're looking for. And because it is a popular shoe for them, it comes in a variety of colors and a variety of widths, and it is a shoe that people come specifically looking for, and they'll say, I went over to Dick's Sporting Goods or whatever sporting goods store near you, and they don't have this shoe because it's really only sold in places like ours or directly from New Balance. So we've been really excited to be able to carry it because it does give us a little bit of exclusivity that you might find and you might not find in other specialist shops like ours. So a couple changes right off the bat on this shoe. If you're looking at our old version, version 11, they had the little heel cup here that was really curved in and really defined. You see on our wall that a lot of brands have kind of switched to this sort of heel cup to it. New Balance, at least from our vantage point, was the first ones to really do it and adapt it. Interestingly enough, now looking at stuff for 2022, they're going to start going away from it. And I don't know if it's because so many other brands are sort of doing a similar heel cup or they just wanted to change it up. While this has sort of that shape to it, it doesn't have the same feel to it. It slips on much better, but it doesn't put as much pressure on the heel. Originally, that was designed to kind of keep you feeling nice and firm inside of the shoe and to kind of take a little pressure off of your Achilles. But I will tell you that it was sort of the opposite. Like 15% of the people that came in looking for a New Balance shoe didn't like the heel cup on it. On this or like the 1080, it just wasn't as comfortable. So first off, I was excited to see it go back to more of a traditional, fully cushioned heel to it. It makes it really nice and comfortable, and it still has that little bit of a lip up here for like easy slip in and off. And I know that seems silly, but watching people that put on shoes, you'd be shocked how many people have a hard time putting on shoes. People that crush down on the heel and such. So this to me is like a nice blend of a traditional cushioned, more heel collar to it, and still that same slip-in thing that we're seeing on a lot of shoes here. So that was a nice change of pace for us too. Because of that, I actually thought the shoe was going to come in and weigh a good bit different, but it's the same. This shoe still weighs the same as the previous version. It is still on the men's side an 11.4 ounce shoe, and on the women's side it is a 9.4 ounce shoe. Hasn't changed at all. It also still has the same drop. It still has a 10 millimeter drop. So what we're talking about is the offset from our heel to our toe. It's how much we're sort of ramped here. That hasn't changed. And that's always something interesting when people talk about, what's the right amount of drop for a stable shoe and what should the ideal drop be on a shoe. I don't think that's really a good question, and it's not fair. There's not one really specific, this is the drop-in shoe that's going to be the perfect one for everybody. It's not. That's one of the cool things about what we do. We have stuff from 0 to 12 millimeters, sort of all in between. They've always kind of had a higher drop on this shoe, so that hasn't changed. And I think the nice thing with this shoe being around for so long and people are sort of accustomed to it, that sort of in a stability category shoe is really comfortable for a lot of people. People that aren't even coming from running shoes, even just average casual shoes or like So many people that come in here and just like we call them a knock-around shoe, they all sort of have a similar drop to this. So like right off the bat, putting it in, and there's a little bit of familiarity to it, but the big difference on this one compared to people walking in from like a casual New Balance shoe or an everyday Asics shoe that's just their knock-around is immediately the inside posting of this shoe, is the stability, the inherent stability on this shoe on the inside. When you're looking at it, you can sort of see this defined piece here. And it's by design that there's just a little bit of difference to it, subtle differences, so you can literally see the difference in this shoe compared to its companion shoe, the New Balance 880, which is so similar in a lot of ways except without that stability piece to it. So what this is going to do, it's going to give you a firmer, structured point on the inside of your foot, on your arch, if you're somebody who collapses. What we've been seeing a lot from other brands the last couple of years, since we've opened in 2014, this used to be sort of the way stability shoes were, right? They always had the posting on the inside. They had some different railing. They had some sort of thing on the inside. But what we've seen is a lot of shoes are now adapting to have some sort of guide rail or some sort of lateral support. So what that is, if somebody who's had some stability issues or some pronation issues one way or the other, a lot of the new stability shoes are going to kind of balance that out. New Balance is really, I kind of like it. They haven't changed it. They are just somebody who has that medial posting. So now somebody who comes in that says, you know, I need some stability and I'm supinating this way, like I'm never going to pull this shoe for them because this shoe is designed to just help from somebody going in to out. But that's okay because there are some people that feel like those shoes that have the stability on both sides aren't quite as stable. If you put this shoe on compared to some of the other guide rail shoes out there, or even some of the other brands that have a nice stability shoe, on the blind taste test on this shoe, people will still find this shoe to be more stable than almost every other shoe that we have there. And it's like, yeah, I don't want to say it's a point of pride, but like I think there's something to the like we're not changing what has worked from us. This is one of the most popular shoes that are out there on the stability family. We're not going to change and make differences and try to capture a different audience for people that are supinating. This is your stability shoe that's going to be the one. And that makes it feel sort of exclusive and different out there. One of the problems that I had on some of the previous New Balance shoes, and not just on the 860, but on a lot of New Balance shoes, I'm going to just do a quick change here so we can start seeing some of the colors. This is another one of the men's colors. Is that for a shoe that was really designed for somebody who had some stability issues and such, it's kind of narrow. And it seems weird. A lot of times that people that need that stability have sort of flatter feet, and some people have a little bit wider feet that just have that stability issue to it. And that shoe always, to me, felt a little narrow. This is the first 860 that we've had that I can remember that really, really, really fits true to size. And I did my usual test on these where I ran around and I wore for about half a day, one on one foot, one on the other. And honestly, it's a huge difference in the sizing. And a lot of times we tell people to go ahead and size up on a lot of New Balances. In here in the shop, we'll measure somebody, we put them on this little machine, it gives us an idea of their arch profile, it gives us some sizing information, and without fail, somebody measures a 10 on our scale here, or our foot reader here, I just go ahead and instinctively pull them up a half size in the old 860. Not anymore on this. One of the other nice things is the upper is totally different. So again, I'm going to go back to our old friend, the version 11, and it almost has, like, it's super coarse. It has sort of that traily feel upper in that it's not going to snag real easy, but it's really constrictive. That was one of the problems on the last one. It was very constrictive. It was a little bit short and a little bit narrow. So that made it tough. In fact, there was a lot of people that would measure, and we would just go ahead and pull them a wide, even though on any other brand in the shop, they would be a standard. But just knowing that the fit and feel on version 11 and some of the other versions was a little bit more narrow, we just go ahead and went up a half size and a wide. Not the case anymore. It's still a shoe that we sell a good amount of wides in, but you don't have to go ahead and size up and go wide on it. It's much more flexible, it's much more soft, and it's much more cut true to size. So that's one nice thing, because it is hard when you're pulling different sizes for people and they'll say, well, how come I'm on this size and this size? Are you out of my size? It's like, no. Trust me, the sizing is screwy on this shoe. No more on this shoe. So if you're ordering it from us or you're ordering it from New Balance, feel pretty good that you're not going to have to make a size adjustment on this. New Balance has also gone ahead and changed some of the feeling of the midsole on it. It's one of the reasons why they have renamed it. So again, it used to be the New Balance 860 version, and then I went to New Balance Fresh Foam 860 version 11, and now again, we are the New Balance Fresh Foam X 860 version 12. So they've added this X to sort of talk about the difference in the midsole on it, the difference on the guts of this shoe. That's separating it from going back to like those Kohl's and those everyday casual lines from New Balance. This is their premier midsole, and it's one of the reasons why it costs a little bit more than the knockaround New Balances or just the casual line New Balances you'll see out there. There are things that you are seeing fresh foam pop up on some of the lower tier New Balance stuff. So they added the X to sort of give it that differential that this is a premier shoe. And one of the nice things with it is it's still very soft. You know, you can put this shoe on, and the old versions, like when people would walk around on my hardwood floor, like you could hear like them coming down, and not in a bad way. It's a stable shoe, and you could hear the stability when somebody walks in on it. You can hear like, yes, that shoe is great. I'm not doing anything on it. I feel boom, nice and secure. This shoe now is much softer on the inside while still feeling stable. It's a nice sort of dichotomy of having like a little bit of best of both worlds, right? Sometimes people would put on like an old 860 or some of our stability shoes. Actually, it's stability's on that side. And it would be like, it's sort of stiff and uncomfortable, but I need it. I know that I'm having hip pain, knee pain, my ankles hurt, all those things, plantar fasciitis, all those things. So like I kind of need that stability, and I'm gonna make do knowing that it's gonna help my body naturally by giving my extra support around the arch there. But now we have it on, it's like, not only is it helping me, but it's really comfortable. It fits better, it's softer, it's plush, all those great things you're getting in this shoe without losing any of the stability. Because that was some of the shoes that were changing some of the stability side of it. Some people felt, like I said, it wasn't as stable, but you're going to get all the same stability in this shoe that you would get in some of the previous versions of the 860, but it's going to put on and fit better, and it's going to be softer across the board, which is really nice. So, so far, we've had great success with the shoe. Again, I'm going to hold up another color here. This is the color we have on the women's side, on the wide. Some of these colors you might recognize if you've been with New Balance for a while. They've had sort of versions of this. We've carried from 880s to 860s sort of versions of this popular color scheme from them. And it's funny, you know, when the new shoes come in, they're like, this is such a cool new wild color. And then by like end of the year, you're like, I'm so tired of looking at this shoe. And since we've had the 860 for a while because they got delayed, the new version got delayed, we were sort of tired of the old ones, but it's just a little bit fresher. Like it's familiar, but it's just a little bit different. And same thing with even this one. This is another one of the women's colors that we're carrying that we really like. So far out of the gate, people have been really enjoying this. And the people that are like the tried and true, I'm out of my version 11, I need version 12, have been nothing but positive. Really, we've had great success with this. We've only had this for about a week now, but so far the feedback's been great. And the price did go up, but I sort of want to adjust that to address that. The price has gone up from $130 to $134.99, so just a $5 increase. You're going to see a lot of brands that are raising their prices, like in December into January on current model shoes. So New Balance is sticking with this price point. What had always been their plan was to raise this about $5. But we're seeing all the other brands here that are going to just right smack in the middle of a shoe's life expectancy raise their price on. So a shoe that you could buy November 30th for $130, on December 1st, you're going to be paying $140. And that's going to be basically across the line. But New Balance is going to hold this price all the way through. And that was their original price point. So I appreciate that. I'm sure you guys too as well. If you have any questions on this shoe or any other shoes that we're carrying, feel free to leave it down below. We try to do our best to get back to everybody in a timely manner. And you can always shoot us an email, and we'll try to get back to you within a day or two on those as well. Thank you so much for checking out our channel. Again, if you have any questions, leave it below. Give us a like and subscribe. And if you're looking for gear, head on over to our shop and see what's out there. Thank you so much. Happy running, and we will see you around town.